In the bottom right corner of your view screen, the battery, if it gets low, it'll start to blink your red.
Okay.
Just let me know so we can find a good time to swap out the battery.
Okay. So I can push record now, right? Why'd you wait till I push record? She already told me I can't talk. But they don't. These drop tops, convertibles.
I'm scared. I can't even fuck shit. I'm scared.
Hey, TJ. You're not tall no more. No, you're not. I'm on it. Oh, you want to do it?
three-point jumper from the top of the key. Michigan's answer goes strong. Rebound to J.J. Stevens, captain for the Chicago Legends, passing it to the corner. And that shot a little too strong. All knocked out of bounds. We'll go back to Michigan. Shot no good. Pushing up to Stevens. Going to do the best we can here as audio might end there. Long shot from Stevens. Retrieved again by Chicago. Double high screen. The second screen called for the offensive foul. Still 0-0. Chicago getting up the floor. High screen. Ball handler goes to the right. Has it stripped. Gets it back. A little bit of contact. Knocked around. Fight for the rebound. Retrieved by Michigan and knocked out of bounds. It will stay with them. So both teams struggling to get on the board to open scoring. Of course, these teams have not played in a few weeks in the NBL. Chicago's last game, December the 6th. And for the Avengers, their first game since November 22nd. We'll see how that may factor in. A little bit of rust, not obvious, and also we'll see how conditioning played part as this game goes on. So once again, Michigan and Chicago here on NBL TV. There's a tap out to a three. Michigan still unable to score. Pushing on 3 scoreless minutes. Ball on the block. There's a cutter, and finally, it's J.J. Stevens laying it up and in. 2-0 Chicago. Michigan looking to answer. Here's a left wing three-pointer off the back iron again. Still looking a pull-up three way off. Chicago heading the other way. Looking to drop it in the post again. Face-up jump shot is good. That's Derek McDonald for Chicago. Big man facing up for two. Quick answer by Michigan. Finally on the board of the Avengers. Their first two on the diving rim run. Stevens along three. No. A lot of back and forth early. We'll see eventually how cardio will play a part in this game as Michigan will go to the line for the first time this afternoon. Devon Godwin, number 10, 2 on the way for the Avengers. One more for Godwin. Off the side, McDonald the rebound. Maybe not a three. They get it over to Stevens, directing traffic. Looking to get the screen from McDonald. Does. Opposite corner check. That was Tolbert Jr. on the miss, so he's missed both baselines in the early going. Chicago looking to set things up again. Another high screen, McDonald. There's a cross and drive into the middle of the lane, stepping through and tapped back up and in. That was initially Jalen Catledge on the first drive. Not sure who he'll credit with the bucket there. And again, Godwin going to the lane. Looking to get back on the foul line. He won't get there. It's going back the other way with Chicago. Double horn screen action for Chicago. Here's a pull-up triple. It's good. A 9-3 start. Inbound steal. McDonald can't get the roll. Michigan lackadaisical. And the other 3 from 14, no good. Lowering the shoulder and a blocking foul. Zavon Godwin has been extra aggressive in the opening. Third drive, 2 of those drives ended him on the free throw line. Chicago, all jump shots, a couple tap-ins thus far. And from Michigan, looking to slowly, methodically work their way to the free throw line. Again, first game since the 22nd of November for the Avengers, which was ultimately a 139-103 victory over the Motor City Dragons. Both free throws down for Godwin, cutting that lead to 4. And that high screen action, 14. They dumped it in. Tolbert Jr. was knocked away. Now a difficult falling out of bounds shot. I believe that went. Number 2, Jody Hills, Michigan. First jump shot of the game. Now Stevens and Chicago looking to work that pick and roll action. Michigan into a bit of a zone. Looking to stop that. They force a turnover. There's a hesitation drive through the lane. Euro stepping through. Godwin is off to that nice start so far. Has the offensive rebound. Look at the ball just tapping right back to him. He's gotten all the lucky bounces so far. Corner 3, Avengers no. That possession will take us closer to the midway point of this first quarter already. Two-point game. Michigan back. More of a man-to-man coverage. A long three-pointer on its way down for Chicago. And Godwin quickly the other way. And he was hit as well. So sensational start for Zavon Godwin. Keeping your Avengers afloat here in this Saturday afternoon matchup in the Maximum Basketball League. Right here on NBL TV. One more on its way for Godwin. And we'll have either our first sub or our first time out of the game. Wait and find out here. Nope. We'll continue on. A little interruption in our coverage there. We're still going. A drive in the middle, kick out. Back up to Stevens. He's working it with Catledge. 2-man game. Stevens stepping through. Quick runner, but that hand came swiping down on the ball. It's good defense by Michigan. Outlet pass tapped. Godwin, nice little no-look lob. And the finish. Michigan's tied the game. That's Trey Williams. Keeping the alley layup. Stevens gets a screen jump shot. He thought he was hit. Chicago, another offensive rebound. Back up, no. In the second effort, the unguarded Gardner. Number 96, Demetrius Gardner. For 2, that one slapped out of bounds. It will stay with Michigan. A frustrated Eric McDonald there. Talking to his bench and the official. In the corner, knocked away momentarily, recovered. And a drive, a high finish. Malik Davis. Number 24 to finish. We're not at 14. 4:20 to go in the first. Slower start for the teams. We saw their first games in a while, but this rivalry matchup starting to heat up as the game moves forward here. McDonald missing that corner jumper. Out of hell, lay up high and off. Chicago's J.J. Stevens on Instagram earlier described this as a rivalry game with a lot of hard fouls and toughness. We don't want to see anybody get hurt, but good to show the rivalry these two teams have. Again, their first and only regular season matchup, NBL for 24-25. Meanwhile, Michigan got 2 more. Put them up by 2. Here is a drive towards the baseline. A tough finish. Number 7, Jordan Fair for Chicago. And tied at 16. And a high press defense. Here's a crossover knocked away and a foul. That was Michigan's Rashard Zimmerman. The cross being knocked down. They'll take it from the sideline. Here out forward again. Centerline prep. Home of the Michigan Avengers. In Metro Detroit, Michigan. 3:15 to go. Inbound steal, the aggressive defense paying off. Donald. Very aggressive in this first quarter. Animated towards the bench a few moments ago. Now that steal. And there you go. You want to talk about a hard foul. That's a block. Send the Michigan player to the line. Introduce number 22, Justin McKinney. Michigan continuing to find their way to the line in this first quarter. It's always good to see those free throws go down. That can impact, every point can impact a game like this. The teams have been off for a little while, and things may slow down as this game moves along. Eric McDonald facing a double team. Has to be careful. All right, that's not McDonald. That one is. That shot is good. 20-17. Pull up 3 on the wing is strong. Rebound, Chicago looking to push. Stepping through, shot it off the bottom of the backboard. That should be Michigan ball. 24 McDonald again, the pressure. Looking to force more turnovers. And here comes Malik Davis, right to left. Gets a pick, pulls up. Nice shot just off. I believe that is fair. And now he's directing traffic. Gardner. Nice entry pass to him. He finishes. 2 more for Chicago. Been moving the ball around nicely. Quick first step move, kick out. Nice rotations by Chicago. That baseline shot is off. Offensive rebound, he missed it. Tapped back around and then stolen by Chicago. Missed opportunity. or McKinney on that close range shot. Or the defense as well. So Adonis Bailey, number 1 for Chicago, finally get to properly introduce him as he goes for a right-handed baby scoop shot. Comes up a little walking gingerly. We have a whistle as well. Not sure the foul was on. You see Jordan Fair for Chicago, number 7, directing his teammates. Press conversation going on between Zimmerman from Michigan and the head coach and the officials. So it's back with Chicago. An offensive foul was called on that inbound. Nice swipe down on that fadeaway attempt. That's McKinney on the defense. See a lot of post-entry plays. Still mixing it up with that pick and roll for Chicago. Finally, we'll take a timeout. 1:15 remaining in the first. And we're back here on NBL TV, 24-17. The 7-1 Chicago Legends taking it here to Detroit. Michigan looking to knock off the Avengers, giving them their first loss of the season. Who better than defending champs? Drive through the lane, right-handed layup, floating through the air and good. It's Torian Epps, number 5. For your Avengers. Ball knocked away momentarily. McDonald has it. Top of the key. Michigan back in a bit of a zone again. It's going the other way. This is exactly the reasoning for that turnover. Michigan got right back in their bag. So quick turnaround of momentum. We wind down the first quarter. Gardner has it up high, drops it off. Fair to the wing. They're looking for Gardner on that low block again. That's the block they've been going to. He was in trouble, but he got it. Awesome pass there. Catledge lays in 2. Player goes down. Nearing the end of the first quarter, the 3-pointer down for Michigan. On the heave, then the first quarter's off. Took them a few minutes to get going. Michigan, Chicago. Nice end of your first quarter. Chicago by 2 early on NBL TV.
Gatorade, and some Airheads. Green. Yeah, green. Red. Red.
And we're back for the second quarter in a game that's been dubbed the Battle of the Champions here in Detroit, Michigan. Chicago Legends, Michigan Avengers here on NBL TV. Close game through one for Chicago. First of a back-to-back slated to take on strictly business tomorrow at 7 o'clock p.m. And again, first NBL game in weeks for these teams. It's the last one for 2025 for Michigan. Chicago, just their game tomorrow night. That'll be it till the new year. See how they can fare this first of a back-to-back. And if playing a back-to-back will have any impact on their strategies and rotations in this one. Of course, trying to knock off the undefeated Avengers. You would assume they'd be going full power. Anyway, Chicago back at the line, 35 seconds into quarter number 2. The first one is off number 32 for Chicago. We don't have that name and number listed on our official roster, so we'll just refer to him as number 32 until further notice. Godwin got to the line a few times in the first quarter. Somewhat out of control there, unable to get back to it. That pass a little too short and taken away. And Michigan gets the lay. It's Rashard Zimmerman. Nice steal and outlet pass. Cutting Chicago lead to 1. This style has been the bread and butter so far for Chicago. Risky pass. Caught. And getting out of that dangerous position. Here's Gardner. Tough catch. Still shot it. Missed it. Rebound McKinney. And he's fouled on that board. So we saw that press in the first quarter from Chicago. We want to talk about what we've been going back to this fatigue level. It's first night in weeks in the first of the back-to-back. So they want to be strategic when they are using their press. There's a pull-up 3 down for McKinney. Your Avengers taking the lead by 2. 2 minutes into the second. Knocked away. Stays with Chicago. Number 9, Martell Stokes on the floor for the first time for Chicago. Sporting the yellow shooting sleeve, yellow sneaks. He's looking for it in the corner. Has it and it's knocked out of bounds by Zimmerman. Another big one out of bounds on its way for Chicago. Quick inbound to Gardner, just strong on the layup. A pullback triple. Held the follow through. Couldn't get it to go. I believe that was Godwin on the 3-point attempt. Need to expand the range. They're getting to the hole several times in that first. Look at the change of speed there. Chicago's 32. Skying for the rebound. It's Epps. Right-handed pass to the corner. McKinney. Godwin the swing. Zimmerman dancing going right. Long three-pointer swish. Michigan has another one. They'll press a bit now. Forcing the big fella Gardner, and he's in trouble. Jumping pass. Did they take a timeout beforehand? Was he out of bounds? No, they'll take that timeout before turning it over. Credit to Michigan for forcing Chicago to use a timeout. 9:23 in the second.
Red what?
32-27 Michigan here. Early second quarter, NBL TV. Michigan Avengers, Chicago Legends. Powerhouse rivalry matchup here in Detroit. Long shot going out of bounds for Chicago. And Michigan gets to walk the ball up the floor without any pressure. They'll have on it. And we have a stoppage here. Not sure the issue. Put them in for 2. Chicago back the other way. We may be coming back here. Okay. Perhaps a jump ball or just a foul. Jump ball may have sent it the other way. Looks like it'll still be with Chicago here. Don't think we missed much. Or is the play still dead? So we got a good pace through that first quarter, but a few awkward stoppages here, slowing down some of the momentum. J.J. Stevens, captain for Chicago, back out there. And another whistle. Officials not allowing some of that contact by the roll man. The defense on the roll man. Look at this. 3 screens for Stevens. Big man 55, again, not on the official roster. Look at that runner by Stevens. going right, making it 31-34. One dribble three-pointer. At least appeared to be a three. From McQuill Jackson. Stevens again getting a ton of screens. Hesitations. Tried to somewhat nonchalantly dump it in the lane. Touch pass. Counted and one. Not a good foul there. And a frustrated Martell Stokes. One of those ticky-tack plays where either just let him go and get that layup. If you're going to foul him, you don't want to have malicious intent, but you got to wrap him up and not give him the free layup. The free throw now coming. Michigan's Torian Epps. 40-31. Avengers coming up on 7 minutes to go in the second. And our scoreboard showing the first. Stevens. Stokes crossing over. No one left, but threw it off the bottom of the rim. Bit out of control. Pull up, triple down. Jackson feeling good from that right wing. Michigan's opened its largest lead of the afternoon. First in back-to-back games for Chicago. Dribble drive, Stokes spinning into the corner. Flips it back top of the key. Stevens. Now Stokes gets it back for a wide-open three. It's a great offensive possession. Dangerous on the baseline drive, but ultimately an open three for Chicago. Now Stokes aggressively picking up on Jackson, and he wants it to go the other way. A frustrated Stokes, and some chest to chest and some words exchanged. Rivalry game, battle of the champions. That's what it's all about there, but not too sure what Stokes is complaining about. He blew up. He blew up Jackson. Here's Michigan has it in the post. And the bucket. Another one for number 0. He's in a good rhythm right now. Another bucket for the Avengers. They're going to press a little bit. Chicago, lackadaisical with the dribble. That was Catledge on it. Stevens 3 strong. Tap, but it will stay. Chicago ball. McKinney unhappy. He thought he had his hands off of it as it was tapped. Stokes fighting through contact. Oh, he inbounded it. He inbounded it off of the back of the Michigan player and then threw it in reverse. They counted. A marvelous play there by Chicago. Michigan getting it right back, though. Whoop-de-doo and 2. Number 2, that's Jody Hill. Stevens looking for the screen in the backcourt. And they're going to get Davis for the aggression and the foul. A few stoppages, a few delays starting the second quarter. Finally back into a nice swing here. It appears the teams have shaken off the rust and cobwebs, and they're getting after it now. Another foul called for the aggression. And smart by the officials not to let these two rival teams get too physical with one another. You don't want to see things get chippy. Speaking of, Stokes is knocked to the ground. He can't do anything but tip the cap. That was the same play he was trying to make a few possessions before. Still trying to get that inbound steal. Called for the foul. Chicago basketball again. Important possessions for Chi-Town. It looks like Michigan's gone over the limit foul-wise. That will send Stokes to the line. Martell should be in a nice rhythm coming off that three-pointer. Hope I don't announce or jinx him. First one good for Stokes. And the second one down. Chicago will pick up now. Cut the lead to 11. McKinney was thinking about a three there. Justin shoots it. Difficult shot after all the hesitation. Stevens, Chicago, looking to turn around the momentum here. Driving the lane, kick out. Another Stoke corner three off the front of the rim. Chicago, it's ultimately knocked back to Stevens. Teammates nearly tapping it away. Stokes is going to get another wide open look. Rolling off the side of the rim. Here comes McKinney. Sweeping pass to the corner three. Offensive rebound fought for. He keeps it. Good contest on that triple. That was Hill on the miss. Some frustration there. We fouled in the act. Nope, side inbounds. Eric McDonald again animated. Passing it off his foot. Correctly not called a kicked ball as it was thrown by the player off the foot instead of kicked. Baseline shot, no, and a nice save by Chicago to give themselves another possession. They've done a sweet job in the second quarter, giving themselves more chances, but they got to convert on some of them. As you see, down 11, knocked out of bounds. Michigan wants it. Arguing may have touched McDonald last. Far past Gardner. Stokes. Nice pass in the lane. Strong. Michigan catches a break. Now they're pushing it and they throw it away. Stevens tapped and stole it. Here comes JJ. Cross at half court. Past the corner. Stokes, can he get a corner three to go? No, he missed another. Gardner has it. Looks for a pass. No, then sort of rushes it. Rushed the runner off the side. Falling down pass. A lob. Caught. A little too far now. A little fadeaway. No. Not a great shot after the recovery. Stevens. Stokes. Gardner tees one up and hits. Amateur Gardner. Much needed three for Chicago. Galloping down the lane. Oh, man. Was Jackson. He may have lost it on the bump and run. Michigan's got to keep it collected here. Got a nice lead. You don't want to rush. A few rushed shots there. Not a bad timeout afterwards. 47-39. Now 3 minutes left in the second. We're back on NBL TV. Michigan and Chicago. Powerhouse rivalry game. The last two champions in this league going at it on a Saturday afternoon. Thank you for joining us. J.J. Stevens. He was fouled. It looked like before the shot, but they may give it to him. It appears they do. So score the 2 for Stevens and one more on its way. Ticky-tack at times. So no, they don't score the shot. Yeah, I was going to say ticky-tack at times because the foul occurred before he made that gathering motion to go up with it. So he goes 1 for 2 at the line. I believe we should have that scoreboard, right? We got it 47-40 now. 2:50 remaining. Again, that's in the second quarter. They're winding down the first half. Slow start, but offense is coming bunches. There's a right wing, one dribble three-pointer on its way. No hesitation on the tray by Malik Davis. Stevens trying to shed off a defender. And it's stolen. There he goes. Down. 5 quick points for Malik Davis. Stevens aggressive, trying to get it back. No. Reach it in, no call. McKinney corner. Here's a 3 on the way. Quick spurt of offense for the Avengers. An 8:30 run. Big part of this sport is how you end halves, how you close out games. Here they go on the run again. It's Davis. Malik Davis. 7 points in under 40 seconds. Forces a timeout. The Avengers have their largest lead of 57-43. The 8-0 Avengers really turning it on in the last couple minutes. And this is a make or break handful of minutes for the Chicago Legends. First of a back-to-back, looking to knock off the undefeated Avengers. Avengers looking to knock down the champs on this afternoon in Detroit. Look at the aggressive defense. Players looking around in confusion. That appeared to be a play on for me. Of course, Michigan has to be careful with how aggressive they are. With Chicago in the bonus as we lose our feed. We've lost our camera feed. With Chicago at the line, looking to get that back here. 57-43. It appears we have completely lost our camera feed. We'll do what we can here to get that back up. And you are currently looking at the screen of a camera. And now back to black. And our feed is back. We will get an update on the score. Hopefully our cameras can show us the in-arena scoreboard when they have a chance. We can update our time and score for you. Well, until then, we'll continue on with the action. This has been the only way Chicago's stopped bleeding by taking advantage of the aggressive Avenger defense. It's Gardner at the line for one more. Soft touch for Demetrius Gardner. Number 96 of the reigning NBL champion Chicago Legends. Our scoreboard unofficial right now as we lost about 45 seconds or so of coverage. We'll hopefully get that back at the end of the half here. Coming up in a few moments. Here is Justin McKinney from Michigan driving left, running it off the backboard and in. Nice body control for Justin McKinney. Here comes 14 for Chicago, floating through the lane. Just not finding the bucket. Another stoppage of play. There is your official score, 61-47. And it looks like we may have just wrapped up the first half there. So 61-47, Michigan Avengers over Chicago Legends. We'll go into the half. Chicago looking to regroup. Michigan looking to hang on strong. Centerline Prep Academy, Detroit, Michigan. Maximum Basketball League matchup. Chicago Legends, Michigan Avengers. Stay with us. We go to halftime. All right, folks, we're back for the third quarter here on Maximum Basketball League TV, NBL TV. Vince Pomerini on hand remotely to take you through this rivalry matchup, battle of the last two champions of the NBL. Again, the 7-1 Chicago Legends, the 8-0 Michigan Avengers from Centerline Prep Academy. Centerline, Michigan, on those outskirts of Detroit. Michigan had a nice large run in the latter part of that second quarter. We'll see them to a 14-point lead, 61-47. We return for the third quarter. NBL TV. Of course, first of a back-to-back for the visiting Chicago Legends. They'll play strictly business tomorrow night. First game since the 6th of December for them. First game since November the 22nd for the Avengers. We have seen how that has impacted some of the cardio, some of the rust early going. Now, as we start our third quarter, we'll see some of that go away. You guys got into it. Entertaining game thus far. As we pick up with the action, Chicago now going left to right. Number 14 going in. Knocking out of bounds. Should stay with Chi-Town. Nope, going the other way. There's all lining up initially like it was going to stay with Chicago. Chicago was aggressive with the press in the first half. We will see whether or not they choose to bring that back. We're going to knock off the undefeated Avengers. Avengers are going to take out the reigning champions. Will that shot count? I believe it will. Count the bucket signal from the baseline referee. Jody Hill. Well, that runner should have one more. Yep. Correct score, 64-47. Chicago may be entering dire straits here. So plenty of time to turn things around. It's a game of runs. And J.J. Stevens will look to have something to say. This is how they were getting things going earlier in that first half. Two-man game. Number 24, Derek McDonald that time. Chicago unable to come up with anything. Michigan going the other way. You can see in the body language how the Avengers feel like they are in complete control right now coming out of that break. Here is Godwin on the fadeaway, rolls around and in. Zavon Godwin. Well, to keep Michigan afloat, they had that slow start. Initially down 9-3. He continued to get to that line earlier in the first quarter until the rest of the Avengers got going. There's a drive to the right side of the lane. Well defended by Michigan. On that drive by Jalen Catledge of Chicago. Romping down the other way was Godwin. And there's no restricted circle on this floor, but there's a count the bucket symbol. So again, Zavon Godwin. Both teams starting the second half similarly to the way they started the first. For Chicago, it was Stevenson and McDonald working together. Michigan, defense turning offense. Zavon Godwin getting to where he wants to be on the floor. So it looks like they won't count that bucket, that previous bucket. Or do they? I guess did the players forget that that was an and one opportunity? I guess so. So put that two back on the board. Maybe the players are still feeling the effects of not playing a game for a while. Sure, some of these guys will be on other teams and different leagues. This is NBL TV. We're 12-minute quarters. drop step move, well defended, and a frustrated Eric McDonald. He was saying that the defensive player's hand was not upright. There's a pull-up three the other way. When you're down like that, you can't afford to take the time to be mouthing at an official. That body language can negatively impact your team. Michigan taking advantage with a pull-up three. Hesitation dribble, good pickup on the screen by Godwin. Now Stevens has it. He uncorks a long distance three. That's off, but it's slapped. And out of bounds, slapped by Michigan's Torian Epps. The big fella, Colbert Jr., back on the floor for Chicago. He had a rather rough start, missing those baseline jumpers earlier to start the game. Of course, Chicago visiting always plays a part, whether there's a crowd or not. Depth perception in different gyms. And he escaped, but then an uncanny pass up ahead. Godwin, Davon Godwin, taking advantage on another steal. Michigan has numbers. They elect to shoot the three. They miss it. Chicago catches a break. That would have been devastating. Now they step into a three swish. It's number 21, John Montgomery, and his first bucket of the afternoon. Michigan stepping in one on the other side. Jody Hill. Lack of defense being played forces Chicago to take a timeout. Michigan up 76-50. Still early third. Avengers by 26 here in the 7-minute mark of the third. Unconventional inbound for Chicago. Is going to have to look to turn it around here. Perhaps more so on the defensive end. Giving up too easy it looks. Montgomery looking to heat up, missing that one. Long outlet pass. Nice contest on that three, but nobody there to box out the trailers for Chicago. Maybe some ball lock in there. Yeah. Tough chuck from the corner coming off. We'll sidestep three-pointer, but Trey Williams. Chicago can't find the bucket there to get it on the second attempt. That's Jordan Fair. Chicago now going to press. They don't want to go down like this. Initially winning this game. Slowing down since. 32, shuffle pass. They swing it. Legends need to start seeing some of those threes go down. Michigan wants to play at their pace. Davon Godwin. Slipping to the bucket. And a whistle. He did a nice job finding Epps on his way to the bucket, and he will be rewarded with 2 free throws. Fair not happy with it. Perhaps he thought he was fouled on the other end. Letting that be known to the officials. Again, here's Epps. Fair with the right hand looking to try and play some defense there from the side. That was great. Number 22, Justin McKinney, back in, taking that middle block for the Avengers. Second one rolls around and off. Secured by Catledge. We come up in the midway point of the third. Montgomery. Feeling good. Can't get it to go, though. Chicago really struggling from three. Pass deflected, stolen back by Chicago. They got to get something going in transition here. Michigan, great job to get back. They turned it over, but you see all the jerseys, ball in the paint. Nowhere to go for the Legends. Catledge kicking out between the legs. Spin move in the lane, good. Beautiful move by Jordan Fair, and perhaps the nicest one-on-one move we've seen by a Chicago player. Perhaps some bit of momentum. They had no choice there but to foul. McKinney getting deep into the lane. They throw the entry pass, force a foul. So any momentum from that spin move taken back just like that. Smart play, smart seal off by McKinney. Michigan taking advantage of Chicago with a smaller lineup. Chicago started this game off playing big ball. In an attempt to perhaps improve on their perimeter defense and go small. And it's like a game of chess. Michigan responds. 2 at the line. So here comes Fair. Had a nice bucket a minute ago. Was going to get 2 high screens. Picked up his dribble. Nice seal off by the Michigan defender. Now on the wing, this is 14. Down on the baseline. Chicago looking for it. Eventually takes a long delay 3. The slap back nearly goes down. Chicago having an issue getting some friendly rolls in this one. Rim not looking too friendly this afternoon. That cross-court pass goes out of bounds. Turned over, going back to Chicago. Now under 5 minutes remaining in the third. Chicago could use some trips to the free throw line. They're looking for it. Count it. Should be counted. Looks like they will. So that's a nice controlled drive to the right side, banking in. Point. Jalen Catledge on that one. Putback slam. Wait a minute. What a putback dunk. Coverage slightly altered, but that was a ridiculous slam by McKinney. Justin McKinney. My goodness. What a putback slam. Chicago back on the line on the other end. Wow. My goodness. And again, 14 for Chicago. Having a hard time seeing the ball go through the hoop. And right now we've completely lost our coverage. I think we may need to get a refresh on the coverage here. Michigan on a run right now. a massive run. Malik Davis just hit a long three-pointer. They're going to look and double team and trap Chicago. They steal it again. Michigan going the other way. They are beginning to run out this game, folks. Chicago forced to take a timeout. Michigan on a massive scoring run. We got our coverage back here. See, this 88-57, I believe, the score. It's a monster third quarter run. Michigan Avengers in this rivalry game absolutely running away with it here. With flurries of monster scoring runs. Didn't get to catch all of it, but it appeared that Michigan had forced 3 or 4 consecutive turnovers. We barely got a glimpse of that Austin McKinney putback slam. Wow, a monster third quarter run. For Chicago at this point, play hard, don't worry about mistakes. Play till the final buzzer. Can't let emotions or body language impact you at this stage. They've done a few nice things, continuing to get to that line. Maybe too little, too late. Still time to go, but they are going to need a monster turnaround. Chicago will press. McKinney and Downs. We're having issues with our coverage again. Watch from the other way here. Montgomery has laid it up and in. Chicago. Davis looking for a foul, didn't get it. Chicago corner 3. Tapped around. Montgomery lays it in. Chicago looking to get a burst of scoring here. Still down large. McKinney, Chicago playing. Letting them get away with it a little bit. Drive a scoop shot and one. With the player going down as well. Quell Jackson has the extra point. And now the Avengers will press. Big collision at center court. They're waiting his free throws. Finally, the players line up. And one more coming for fair. Chicago not going to stop on the press. Number 8, Tyler Davis. For Chicago seeing the floor. Michigan corner 3. McKinney looking for it. Tapped. Gardner has it. Inside fair, no. Lob. Sheesh. Dangerous fall there. My goodness. McKinney now. Justin McKinney has been a massive part of his Michigan Avenger outburst through the third. Here, Chicago got a bucket there. Lane 3, no, secured by Davis. Here comes Jordan Fair. Fair to the corner. Gardner's 3, no. Davis has it. Fair's lefty runner rushed it. Has it. Back dribble score. So Fair trying to keep it float. That's the right word to use in this situation. Down large later in the third. McKinney the inbound. Jackson near full court pass. Knocked out of bounds. It sends McKinney into the stands. Not quite sure what sent Justin all the way up to the top bleacher. But he's been jumping out the bleachers. Some of his highlight plays today. Fair got another. Jordan Fair. Chicago still pressing. Fair gets caught reaching in on that step through by Jackson. Chicago still pressing. Martell Stokes, he's been out there for a few minutes. No idea what that call is for. Tyler Davis is stunned. Not sure that call, but nevertheless, the sideline out of bounds on its way. And we still are delayed here. What is going on? We have a discussion going on here between the coaches. We're a coach and a player here. No idea what is going on here. That's Centerline Prep Academy. Another massive delay here. We're still with it with the NBL TV. What is going on? Trying to listen in, of course, but at center line, multiple games going on different courts, so you can't can't understand the dialogue here. They're going to jump it up at center court? You still see the animated discussion, bottom left hand of your screen. That is concluded. We're going to restart the game from 0? All right, looks like we will continue. Somewhere around 2 minutes to play in the third. And I'll tell you what, if that score is accurate, Chicago's still within striking distance. They can put together another 10 or so run. Say they're a run away from being a run away. We didn't get that on coverage, but it appears Michigan came up empty on that trip. Here's a pass to the corner. Davis. Air ball, and that ends the third. 93-71. Credit for a very accurate score. And our third quarter has come to a close. So Chicago less time than we realized. That ends the third, and we'll end our coverage for a bit. Hopefully we can get that back up. We conclude NBL TV coverage. The Michigan Avengers, Chicago Legends. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with coverage. NBL TV, Chicago Legends, Michigan Avengers. We pick up somewhere in the fourth quarter. We are going to hope to see the scoreboard in the arena right now, as we have just lost over 5 minutes or so of critical fourth quarter coverage. Nevertheless, it is Chicago's ball. We will try to get a look at the scoreboard. Here is J.J. Stevens. Knocking down a massive three-pointer. Crossover drive runner, strong with a foul. And Rashard Zimmerman be at the line for two for your Avengers. Again, just waiting on a shot of that scoreboard to see where we're at. Scoring somewhere in the middle of the fourth quarter right now. We are not sure if this game is in blowout territory or if Chicago is still potentially in striking distance. Trey Williams, number 12, on the floor. So most of the key players for both teams out there. Here's this one's not over yet. Here's may have a score of 191. 5:10 left in the fourth. That's the case. Chicago has put together a nice run. We told you they had a chance. We told you they still had a chance. But Trey able to keep that dribble there. We got ourselves a ball here, folks. I'm sorry, number 2, Jody Hill. Keeping that dribble alive moments ago. There you go. 4:46 remaining in the fourth. 191. Michigan Avengers. So under 5 to Chicago in striking distance still. And now Jody Hill will try to make that 101. Unbelievable sequence here. We lost 5-6 minutes or so of coverage. You don't know if any rigging was done in that meanwhile. So under 5 to play. It's a 10-point game. And there is a beautiful shot of the scoreboard. Montgomery's way short on 3. Zimmerman sizing up, blowing by to the left. All George Ask strong. 14 secures it. Here come the Legends. Here come the champions. They're going to put together one final run to come back in this game, and it's lost en route to the rim. Stevens, aggressive. Trey Williams having none of that, but maybe a little too lackadaisical. Michigan turns it over again. Stevens, as he throws up a prayer runner and hits it. J.J. Stevens, an 8-point game. 104 to play, knocked out of bounds. Was that last touch? That was potentially last touch off the hands. Stevens just saying that should be Chicago ball. So is the Chicago bench. Chicago still has a chance. They kept themselves afloat despite several incredible sequences for the Avengers. Championship poise for the Chicago Legends. So we now walk the floor. So instead of the out of bounds, it's a foul. And they're in the penalty. Number is listed number 0, McCall Jackson. As the officially listed name and number off NBL's website. Checked in on McCall. I'm not 100% certain. We'll call it as it is. It was not him. We apologize. We apologize for all that missed coverage, but nevertheless, we're here now. We got ourselves a ball game. It's the Battle of the Champions, the one and only time you'll see these two teams facing off the regular season, 25-26. What a journey we've been on. Trying to get through this game. Wild pass, Chicago rushing it. There's a lob inside, Avengers in no particular hurry. They throw it around, and in rhythm 3. Down the shoot by Jackson. And now Chicago. A couple sails away from Dire Straits. Another bad turnover. Michigan has numbers. They elect to go for 3 more, and they get it. Another one down from Jackson, a personal 6-0 run. And these personal runs have been Achilles' heel of champion Chicago Legends today. Another tough one rolling off the front of the rim for Gardner. He gets the foul. Under 3 minutes to play here this afternoon in Detroit. My goodness. One more on the way for Gardner. Gardner hits both. Michigan's got to take care of the ball here. On cue, turnover. Dropped inside, Stevens for 2. Lackadaisical turnovers by your Avengers. McKinney's got to watch out behind him. He was diving on the ball. Possible play by Justin McKinney. Chicago, it appears that Chicago may have forced them to use a turnover. McKinney having a conversation with the official. They'll talk things over. Nice defense by Chicago. They're running out of time for a comeback. We got 2:27 left on our clock. Should be accurate. How much time the Chicago Legends have left? Try and put an end to the undefeated start to the season for the Michigan Avengers. And they have something to say about that. They're looking to give Chicago their second loss, and they're closing in on it. Chicago turns it over. That one might do it. No look, sweeping pass. Another 3. Blocked. Zimmerman up and 1. On more for Zimmerman. Jackson upset that he wasn't sent to the line to shoot three. It threw me off. It seemed like Zimmerman wasn't fouled afterwards. Everybody wants to do the course of 3 points. Would have been, well, they got the 3 points either way. I'm not too sure what he's complaining about. Nevertheless, 14 going the other way for Chi-Town. Under 2 minutes to go. Chicago backing down a bit. Looks like the Avengers will close here. They stay undefeated, move on 9-0. The Heat are 3. And Stevens, nice little sweeping pass inside. Another deuce for Chicago. Not over yet. Still can press, still can force turnovers, make plays. That appeared to be a foul as he got over half court. And again, the penalty. Davis at the line, too. Who knows if he made it or not? So we don't know if Michigan has 115 or 114. We'll give him 115 for now. There's no body language after that first free throw. Chicago. Oh, Michigan thought they had it. What another foul. Doesn't matter what league you're watching, those last 2 minutes always going to drag out a bit. That's what teams, especially the trailing team, wants to do. They want to stop the clock, have a chance to erase points from the lead without the game coming to its conclusion. Eventually, the math just doesn't math, and it's game over. Chicago still believing they can turn this around, and that's all they can do at this point. I mentioned it earlier, play hard. Don't worry about mistakes. Finish strong. Learn from mistakes later on. 2 down for the CHI. Davis, the lob tapped and turned over. Not quite sure what they're in such a big hurry for. And Chicago nearly turns it over. Here's a pull-up 3. It's good. Pull-up 3 for the Legends. Leads under 10. Quick foul. I don't think Chicago was intending to foul. Looked like they were only trying to double team Gardner. It appears to have made some brush contact. However, Trey Williams will go to the line for 2. So Chicago wasn't looking to foul quite yet, but not the worst result. They could end up giving up a dunk. That double team player gets that ball away and give up a break with the numbers. Bad news is the deficit is growing. We don't know if Michigan has 117 or 116. There's a factor here because we missed that free throw a minute ago. Both down for Williams. Inbound, in and out move. Stevens leads it. Got it. J.J. Stevens. Davis on drive. Malik Davis. Let's go home. Another eruption. Tap up and in. Scoreboard shows Michigan hit 120. So there you go. That free throw did count. It's 120, 113. As time will expire for Chicago, valiant effort trying to make that fourth quarter comeback. Unable to do so. Well, the rivalry game is going to come down to this. As Michigan will just dribble it out. And that will do it. We finally come to an end of the Battle of the Champions. Michigan Avengers 9-0. We're not. We're going to line up at a free throw. This just summarizes today's action here, folks. Everyone's stopping, dribbling out the clock. Game's over. Oh, nope. Here's free throws. But it appears that Michigan Avengers will rise to 9-0. Chicago will fall to 7-2. Unless the camera goes out for 5 minutes and we come back and we're in overtime. We don't know. That's where we've been today. That's where we've been this afternoon. So they will take a timeout. Game not over yet. We don't know the official score. We don't know the official time. We don't know the time left. That's a bigger factor right now. We don't know the time that's remaining. It appeared because Michigan threw a lob, like flying around lob. It looked like the game was over. Made it seem that the game was over and the players were dribbling up the clock. And then all of a sudden a foul was taken. They split the pair. But again, we don't know how much time is remaining. We do have the score 122-115. 3-possession deficit for Chicago. I mean, if they have 20 seconds left, all right. Mathematically, still got a chance. He got 10. Not quite sure about that. Takes some inbound steals. We're at the end of the game. Chicago's going to be looking for 3. Stevens on court. No good. The ball goes out of bounds. Chicago will still press. Ball's inbound across the court. Stevens. Hard foul. I'd love to know how much time is left in this game. As to show as to why the players are still fouling. Unless there is a bonus for over-under on the points. Not quite sure. We'll walk the floor and lose our coverage once more. That is a screen of a wonderful camera. So we may come back and be in overtime. We don't know. But again, technical difficulties. So stand by. We wait to see the outcome of this game. Looks like Michigan should win this one to go up 9. To go up and improve to 9-0 on the season. Man.